There is breaking news now on Fox News Channel, and there is a tsunami from the earthquake in New Zealand. I learned this in the last 3 or 4 seconds, and I've just gotten a write-through here. This is Reuters news agency, Dateline Washington, quoting now. I'm going to read verbatim because I don't have independent information. A powerful magnitude 7.8 earthquake struck New Zealand's Kermadec Islands, triggering a tsunami in the region. They are quoting the United States Geological Survey and the U.S. Pacific Tsunami Center. The quake, initially reported as a 7.9, it triggered a tsunami warning for New Zealand, the Kermadec Islands, and Tonga. The United States Pacific Tsunami Center said, quote, sea level reading confirmed that a tsunami was generated. This tsunami may have been destructive along the coastlines of a region near the earthquake epicenter, end quote. That from the U.S. Pacific Tsunami Center in the last minute. It struck at 7:03 a.m. local time, which is 3 minutes after 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The epicenter, 131 miles east of Raoul Island, part of the Kermadec Islands, and was only 30 miles deep. Now, often when the quakes are not very deep, and 30 miles is not very deep, that can mean a larger tsunami. What was that? Okay, I'll get to that. The Pacific Tsunami Center said the waves were but 2.2 to 2.7 feet high around Raoul Island. Now, but here's the thing. Tsunamis have different heights in different directions. We learned this from the last one. A tsunami could spread out like a rock hitting the water and hitting the swimming pool, and it makes a puddle, it makes a ripple that goes in all directions. But with a tsunami, it's stronger sometimes in one direction for the other than another. For instance, it could have cracked in this way and sent all the water that way. It could have cracked in that way. You just never know how this is going to work. How soon? Jonathan Hunt is with us. How soon might this hit land, Jonathan? Do we have anything? Well,
Chet, the epicenter of the earthquake was about 500 miles northeast of the north coast of New Zealand's North Island, and right in the center of that north coastline on the North Island of New Zealand is its biggest city, Auckland. We are told that the tsunami could hit there, Auckland, right, if you look at the North Island there, it's right in the middle of that northern line. It could hit there within 3 hours of that earthquake actually happening. So that would put it just a little over 2 hours from now. Auckland, New Zealand's biggest city, could be hit by that tsunami, Shep.
Well, you know, Jonathan, I don't have a way to know exactly how big this thing is. I know that around Raoul Island it was 2.2 to 2.6 feet high, this thing, and that wouldn't do all that much damage. We can only hope. But look at New Zealand television. It's the morning show there. Don't they seem concerned?
New Zealand TV's morning show, I can tell you from experience, having lived there for a while, is not exactly a hard news outlet. But yes, you would expect perhaps a little more coverage of what is really going on there. The civil defense...
you know what I meant by that, Jonathan? I wasn't here to condemn them for it. I'm just thinking maybe they know more than we do.
Well, I'll tell you this, the civil defense of New Zealand, I'm just checking out some of the New Zealand media here, they are at the moment advising people to stay away from the beaches, but they are getting a lot of their information from the U.S. Geological Survey, and because they only announced just 2 minutes ago, Shep, that a tsunami had actually formed, they might not have got into full breaking news mode yet to give them some due.
All right, well, one thing I can report is that there is no warning for Hawaii. There are no warnings for any other areas of the Pacific Ocean, but clearly a 7.8 magnitude earthquake, nothing to mess around with. Details as we get them throughout the afternoon. The Dow up about 50 points on the session right after a quick commercial break. It's time for Your World on Fox News.